The following podcast is intended for mature audiences. If you enjoy our work, please like, comment, subscribe, and follow the links in the description. Thanks for your support, and enjoy. Greetings and salutations, listener. It is I, Eric J. Chucci, joined as always by my co-pilot, the boy.
I almost want to do a Wookiee noise, but hey.
This is the Two Nerds Podcast. This week, we are discussing Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, which will be released in several small, instanced pieces to really focus on the story. And that way that they can skip over the weird stuff, like when Eris dies. Wait.
It's a joke, everybody.
I might be thinking of a different 7. Spoiler-free review.
It is... Well, listener, let me preface. Do you like Star Wars?
I sure do!
Well, if you like Star Wars, you're gonna like this movie. Go see it twice!
But what if it fills me with an esoteric sense of longing for the adventures that were my youth? What if I find myself walking out of the theater disappointed and a little confused by my lack of happiness from something that has so often brought me such joy?
Then you're just a withered old prune who can't enjoy anything anymore. Go kill yourself.
Hooray!
It's harsh, man. It's harsh. Yeah, I mean, that's a really, really hyperbolic version of how I feel, but let me go ahead and give you guys a customary 5 seconds of bullshit beginning now, before we start going into spoiler territory. If you like Star Wars, go see the fucking film. What are you doing listening to us?
If you like Star Wars, you already went and saw the
Yeah, you're like, yeah, you guys are a week late.
Well, we're a week late because we were a week late in watching the movie.
Yeah, fuck those crowds.
Because I'm not going opening weekend.
That
Look,
was
I like
nice.
you, listener. Not that much.
My mom went opening night. My mom went midnight launch night, and she had a rough time. And
I'm not getting destroyed
Yeah.
by nerd stank. I'm sorry.
Well, and it was like little kids were like messing with my sister's hat and shit. But yeah, that was 5 seconds, I'm sure.
For the spoilered up review, again, this is Star Wars, so I'm going to warn you one last time. Fucking bail out now if you don't want spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers is coming. It's not like we're going to say them directly afterward because that's dumb, but I mean, there's your review, assholes.
There's another review I watched online that does literally that.
Yeah.
Warns you of spoilers and then gives you the spoiler right up front. Let's just get it out of the way. But
I don't even think that that's a let's just get it out of the way. Like, it has so little to do with the movie.
Anyway.
I
liked this movie. I thought this was a perfectly good, very, very well done Star Wars movie. It was a Star Wars movie by the numbers, but it was a good Star Wars movie. I would put it right on par with A New Hope, or Revenge of the Sith / Jedi, depending on whether or not you're one of those people who hates the prequels unnecessarily. Yeah, I'm gonna start that fight, by the way, with the internet.
I rate my Star Warsies a bit different. And in fact, I'm not sure of my actual Star Wars rating order because it's been a long time since I've seen Revenge of the Sith. So
I have mine. It's been set in stone for many and many. It goes 4, 6, and 3.
You're going from...
Oh no, actually, I'm sorry. 5, 6, and 3, 4. And those are all sort of in a tie.
Then 1 and 2.
1, 2. Yeah. That's right. I like episode 1 more than episode 2. I don't think episode 1's that bad, internet. Fight me.
A lot of people do. Like, there's basically 2 camps. The camp that hates episode 1 and the camp that hates episode 2.
I'm in that second camp because episode 2 was dog turds.
Episode 2 is a different movie. We're not here to talk about episode 2.
Except that Yoda fight. That Yoda fight was for real, though.
Yeah. Spaz, I am doing a podcast, honey. Now is not the time to become my cat stole.
His cat likes hanging out on his neck, if that wasn't clear.
I liked this film. I liked this film more than the first Avengers movie.
I'm hearing a giant approaching gluteus maximus. Choo-choo, it seems to go.
It didn't wow me. And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. And I'm going to be careful about what I'm going to say. The boy...
I think I found a great way of phrasing what you're going to say.
Oh,
And stop me if this isn't what you were going to say, but I think one of the first things you're going to point out...
No, I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
...is... one of the big reasons that... We've talked about this a couple times since we saw the movie, because we saw the movie on
Friday.
Christmas.
Yeah, Friday.
And so... It's been a couple days. We've discussed it back and forth. The biggest problem is that... And I think I found a way of phrasing this while avoiding... Shall we say more contentious terminology? We're going to say the main character, Rey, while a character that I enjoy watching and while performed admirably by Daisy Ridley, that was a good performance, has no stakes. She's never in any danger. She's always ultra competent at everything she does, such that she surprises and surpasses the heroes of the original trilogy, and everyone loves her for no discernible reason. In other words, she is a 90s action hero.
Sure.
She's Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando.
No, you know what? You're hitting the fucking nail on the head, because I'm not a big fan of action movies. Because of that. I am never afraid the hero isn't going to walk away.
80s action movie, more or less.
Late 80s, early 90s. Yeah. Because, like, Double Team was totally a 90s action movie.
And it does the exact same thing. And there are other, more contentious terms for this, but the term I feel most accurately represents this, while not pissing off basically the whole internet, is she's Arnold Schwarzenegger in Commando.
She's a power fantasy.
You're never gonna... There is no point in the movie where she is believably in any danger.
Right. And that's awesome.
Yeah, that's fun. I like that.
It's fun. But, like, in terms of me sitting there watching the movie and getting nervous doesn't seem like the right word, but having anticipation, like, man, what's going to happen?
A story's better when it has stakes.
Yeah. And this story
the original
didn't have
Star Wars
for me.
had stakes.
Yeah.
Luke is a constant fuck-up who never really manages to succeed in anything without help.
And, you know, and that's okay.
Whereas Rey never needs help for anything, and in fact, spurns the very idea of assistance on more than one occasion.
Yeah, 90s action hero is a good way of putting that. That's just nail on the fucking head. And that's why I don't really like action movies. I mean, you can put a lot of good trappings around them, and it's like, oh yeah, that was fun. This one was more fun than this one, so on and so forth. But in general, I'm not a fan, because it's like, I can watch a different, you know, a movie, like a comic book movie or something, and either be thrilled by the stakes or have characters that I really fucking enjoy anyway, or, you know.
It gives you more bang for your buck. This Star Wars was like, it was a Star Wars movie with a hero transplanted from a Sylvester Stallone vehicle from the top of his career. That's just the way it is. It's not a good or bad thing. It's just what it is.
Yeah, and since
it's not to your taste, so you don't like the movie as much.
Right. And like, that disappoints me, because I like Star Wars a lot. Like, pretty much anything they've ever done. Pretty much. I've dug it in one way or another.
And it's very unfortunate. I dig this because I do like action movies. I like, you know, it's not a bad thing to occasionally watch a guy who you know is going to win. And it's the same reason I can enjoy John Cena and I like Superman. Sometimes the power fantasy isn't a bad thing.
Well, and I'm not even saying it's a bad thing.
No, it's just like, not to your taste.
Yeah, like, that's not something that gets my engine going. Like, it's predictable.
Yeah. Oh, and, yeah, you could definitely... I mean, you saw every part of this plot coming.
I did. And, like...
everybody did, really. Everyone in the theater did.
To their credit, my friends were like, well, yeah, but you're a writer and you really engross yourself in media. So, you know, good for you for being able to see these things coming. Yeah, I don't... Like, even the big spoiler that was spoiled for me by someone who I'm not going to give the time of day to, that was so violently foreshadowed Like, everything. It was so...
It's only a spoiler if you're not currently watching the movie. If middle of the movie someone leant over and whispered that spoiler into your ear, you would go, yeah, of course. The fuck?
Well, if you're genre savvy, middle of the movie, but like 5 minutes before it happens, 3 minutes before it happens, maybe, you're like, he's going to die.
Even if you're not genre savvy, there's a scene like 10, 15 minutes before, right before they, embark on the final mission, that is very clearly this is happening. Nerds, get your tissues ready.
Well, yeah. And, oh man, I don't know. Because I wasn't wowed by this movie, because the energy wasn't there, because it didn't grab me and say, shut the fuck up and watch the fucking movie, I'm able to pick it apart a lot easier and have a less good time doing it. So I also find that the longer I talk about it, the less I like it. The less I talk about it, the more I can look back and go, yeah, I had a good time. Because overall, I did have a good time. It's just that it didn't, it desuspended my disbelief.
I can understand that.
It was like, this is stupid. Don't disbelieve. This is a fucking movie. What are you playing at here?
I just, I don't have, let's run down for the listener do we want to run down the plot?
I mean, if you're coming here for the plot of the Star Wars movie, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. I love you, listener. I do.
Go watch fucking Star Wars.
Go watch the fuck, give them their $10. Damn. I mean, I know they have enough money already, but,
Yeah, they're currently, as we speak, smashing worldwide records and are easily expected to surpass Avatar's grosses.
Good.
They're almost at $1 billion already. Avatar did $2 billion globally, and they haven't even opened in China yet.
Oh, God.
They open in China on January 6th, and then China will give them all the money in history. It's just the way it is, man.
And the funny thing is, a lot of the stuff that people were picking apart beforehand, that wasn't even... Like the lightsaber with the crossguard.
It was dumb in the previews. In the movie, it's such a non-thing until it comes up exactly one time that I stopped caring. It just was a flash.
In the close-up shots and stuff, you can see that there's actually little handly bits there. It's like two little babby lightsabers or a splitted lightsaber.
It's just character design. It gets used once during a lightsaber fight, but not as a sword catching device. He has someone in a lightsaber clash and he stabs him in the shoulder with it, which is a good use for that.
Sure. Well, and I also, there's little fucking touches all over this movie that I love. The reason his lightsaber is, all crackling with energy and has that stupid crossguard is because it's shitty. Because he doesn't fucking know how to make one.
Because he is a shitlord. Okay, alright, back up. Can we talk about Kylo Ren for a minute? I love Kylo Ren. He's the best. He's a trash bag human, and he's the best. He's such a good villain. He's such an amazing villain. And he's so fun to watch. I had such a great time every time he threw a little temper tantrum like a baby.
This movie...
His lightsaber does look unfinished. It looks like a lightsaber that was made by someone who isn't fully trained and who just straight up is a Sith fanboy and wants the lightsaber that's super cool and has extra knives on it. Because that's his character. That's literally his character. He is an emo Sith fanboy.
This movie is several lines from the Blues Traveler song Run Around.
What, to fucking elaborate?
It's a bad play where the heroes are right and nobody thinks or expects too much.
Ha! Yeah, I mean...
I didn't like the villains in this movie. The way you're supposed to. They weren't badly written. It wasn't oh, this is trash writing. No, I just didn't like them.
He's a trash person, but great writing.
I liked the good guys, and I didn't like the bad guys. The bad guys were awful monsters, the good guys were nice people just trying. Just trying.
And they effectively, I'm a weirdo, I think they effectively combated the Darth Vader cool view, because a lot of people end up liking Darth Vader more than anyone on the light side, more than anyone in the Rebellion in the original story, because he's so cool. Kylo Ren is not cool.
No, he's a wiener.
Kylo Ren is such a wiener. He's so great. He thinks he's so hardcore, and he's not. He's good with the Force, but, like, not great.
He's about Draco Malfoy level menacing.
Yeah, and he's just, because it gives him room to grow into a complete hard ass throughout the series.
Sure. I laughed a lot during this movie, like in the way you're supposed to in a Star Wars movie, and, you know, there are characters I really liked. I really liked Han. I thought his character arc was really good. Weird in some places, but really good. And there's like a lot of analysis one could do. We talked about that last night, and I think, I mean, this is kind of my headcanon I've adopted, but
I forget what I mentioned before in the podcast. I put up all the movies I watch on Facebook. I forget what I put up there, but I think if I watch it again, I'll probably put, "That's not how the Force works." One of the best fucking lines in the whole movie.
It's good. You, I forget which one you put up. It was some funny line, but
oh, it was from like the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, we tried to stay very spoiler free.
I picked a picture from the trailer, and I picked a line from the first 5 minutes of the fucking film because I do not want to spoil this movie for anyone. By God, go watch fucking Star Wars. Notably, we gave you a spoiler warning, and we still are dodging around the big spoiler.
Well, like, because it's not even part of the plot of the movie. Like,
it's part of the plot of the trilogy. It's part of the plot of the next movie.
And that's part of why I'm frustrated. And a couple of folks I've talked to since then have brought that up. They're like, yeah, but wait for the next movie. And it's like, you're probably right, especially because J.J. Abrams isn't going to have his dirty fucking fingers all up in this one.
You just fully transformed into someone who hates J.J. Abrams, haven't you?
Every time I've sat down to watch something this guy has done, and I'm like, man, I hope it's at least as good as Cloverfield. That's not even a high bar. Like, outside of the religious experience aspect of it, it's an alright good monster movie. It has its flaws.
Whereas I've never hated anything I've seen J.J. Abrams do. I've notably avoided some stuff that I knew I wouldn't like.
Like, I guess I didn't hate the first Star Trek movie, but it was whatever. It was a fun, dumb ride, you know? Like, but not... I don't think I would ever watch it again. It's not like I would force somebody to turn it off.
I didn't hate it, but I also didn't watch Into Darkness, and probably am not going to.
Or Star Trek Jungle Boogie.
Beyond. It's called Star Trek Beyond, the next one.
If there's not a Thunderdome joke in there, no ticket sold, my friend. But Lost, Alias as a show never interested me.
Never watched Lost. Knew I wouldn't like it, didn't watch.
It's, having watched it, not good.
In case anyone's concerned, J.J. Abrams did not lost this plot. This
No.
plot is very, there are no mysteries.
Nope, it is the opposite of Lost.
It is, remember Star Wars? Here's Star Wars. You guys like A New Hope? Also kind of some Empire, maybe? There you go.
You guys like A New Hope, but don't want to be scared by unpredictable events? Don't worry.
We gave you A New Hope, but modernized with sassier dialogue.
Well, and it's like, and we had this conversation.
Because they're very sassy.
They are very sassy. That was something that bugged me. If I had two big nitpicks about this movie, two actual, even if I had fucking loved it, I would have gone, these two things stuck out. Okay, first of all, they switch between modern, sassy dialogue, and I don't mean modern as they're all speaking street internet slang, but I mean, fucking...
Star Wars dialogue has a cadence to it.
Yes, but...
They dropped the cadence a couple times.
Yeah, for the sake of a joke or a good one-liner or something.
And to be fair, they're really good fucking one-liners.
Sure, but and then they go right back into the weird-ass George Lucas. They're switching between George Lucas and Joss Whedon.
Not early, Avengers Joss Whedon.
Avengers Joss Whedon, not like Buffy Joss Whedon. But, yeah, and it's so whiplashy. Because those are two really fucking different ways of talking. But, so that's a nitpick. It's a nitpick. The second thing I have to nitpick is the last half hour of that movie was edited like shit. And I don't mean it was put together badly. I mean whoever laid out the storyboards for that fucking timeline didn't give a single fuck. Because you can arrange all that shit into a congruent series of events that clearly cuts back and forth between actual time moments and you wouldn't miss shit. Instead, they're 5 minutes earlier, without actually announcing that shit was 5 minutes earlier. 10 minutes later, oh, but this was happening! And I think the reason they did it is because they want you to feel like the end of episode 1, where Darth Vader went soaring, or episode 4, excuse me, when Darth Vader went soaring off into the sky, having been kapwinged away by the Millennium Falcon. And you're like, oh, maybe Vader's dead, with Kylo Ren and the whole planet blowing up. But, like, you don't have that. Because you fucking know. You fucking know.
Him and Phasma, that's a spoiler I'm going to give you guys. Gwendolyn Christie's character, J.J. Abrams said beforehand that's his favorite character in the movie. Motherfucker, I guess my favorite character from the movie, from Star Wars A New Hope, is the bartender from the cantina.
That bartender did a hell of a lot more than fucking...
He had about as many lines. Gwendolyn Christie's character does not do a lot in this fucking movie.
You know how people will bitch about Boba Fett because he didn't do anything in the movies?
He's just really cool costume design.
Everything cool Boba Fett did, he did in the expanded universe. That is his character.
Like, I'm sure she's super awesome and a mega badass, and I'm hoping she gets cooler shit to do in the next movie, because right now she's just really cool costume design.
In being silver and large.
And with the fucking cape. And
the cape's nice.
Fuck you, that's really good costume design.
Well, I mean, I think the new Stormtroopers are really good costume
design.
They
are. Very classic and yet, like, retro, back
sleek.
to the... Yeah, it's nice.
Lots of lens flares. I'm joking. I didn't notice any lens flares.
There were no overt lens flares in this movie. JJ has been properly chastised for lens flare.
But, yeah, she does nothing. Like, she's worse than Boba Fett. Boba Fett at least flew a ship and looked at a dancer.
She, like...
shot his little wire.
She, like...
Boba Fett tried.
Fucking Phasma, I believe is her name. Yeah, Captain Phasma. She gets Chewie glomped at one point, and that is the most...
That's it.
And then she fails to be a good soldier pretty hard. Drop the shields, okay? But, like, it's not a huge deal. I'm hoping Captain Phasma gets more to do in the next movies. I really like Gwendolyn Christie as an actress, and I really like that character design. Give me, like, Boba Fett doing something cool this time. Can we have the person with the cool character design doing something cool?
Well, and I think, you know, because when they made A New Hope, they didn't know they were going to make 2 more movies. When they made this, they knew they were going to make 2 more movies.
So they've got time. They got time to, like, stretch their elbows a little bit. And
this is allowed to be a setup movie, and much in the same way as Avengers that I didn't really care for, and I thought things were kind of weird and rushed.
This time, you know, it's a setup movie for Star Wars Episode 8, which you'll probably fucking love, and everyone else will find a mild disappointment.
Probably, yeah. Because, you know, that's how I roll, I guess. I'm fucking out of touch with the popular thump.
Yeah, because this movie's making every dollar that's ever existed.
I mean, yeah. And it's like, alright, so the spoiler, the big spoiler.
Oh, God. Like, I almost don't want to say it.
No, well, but I want to talk about it. So, we compared it in a conversation last night, and you were trying to suggest that the series of events was similar to when Obi-Wan died in Episode 4, to which I called bullshit. Because Obi-Wan and Darth Vader were having a gentleman's fight.
A lazy gentleman.
Lazy old man gentleman's fight. And then suddenly Obi-Wan's like, peace out, mother bitches, and Vader kills him. And it's like, you know, you and Luke are going, the fuck?
It's because it's in a different place in the movie.
Sure, but it's also not foreshadowed. Like, there's 4 seconds where you're like, what's he doing? And then it's done. If you're genre savvy, you know the old man teacher has to die so that the young pupil can reach his full potential. That's the way this works.
The hero's journey. It's an archetypal story arc that's been going on since we've been telling stories.
So, you know, that's one thing. Suspending my genre savviness is something I actually am pretty good at, even when my disbelief is not suspended. But I digress. In this scenario, when Han is waddling up to Kylo,
much more minor spoiler, because literally they talk about it 10 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, they don't treat it like a spoiler.
It's not a reveal. It's just, this is how it is. Kylo Ren is Luke's former pupil who turned on him and killed all his Jedi, all the other Jedi apprentices. And Luke was so sad it drove him into hiding. Probably part of the reason this made him so sad is Kylo Ren's actual name is Ben Solo. He's Han and Leia's kid.
Right. So when Han is waddling up to him and trying to bring him back, much like Luke did to Vader in Return of the Jedi, like the lighting and the acting and the angles of the camera and the time spent dwelling on certain shots, the movie is telling you, hey man, Han Solo's about to die. And like it spoils itself. It would have been more of a spoiler if everything went according to plan, and I would have been mad about it because
you foreshadowed.
You done Darth Snookered me.
That's the new ruse. That's the new ruse, Bolton. Darth Snooker done got us again.
Damn you. Whatever, it's like High Preceptor Snoke or whatever the fuck his name is.
Who the fuck cares?
Anyway.
High Lord Noob Cybot, I guess. Fucking... What the fuck is that name? What is Snopes.com? Why is that the fucking... You could have gone with anything. He's a fictional character, you can name him anything, and then it's a dumb fucking name.
But like, they set it up, and they set it up like the scene from fucking episode 4. You know, where the young people are watching from a place where they can't really interfere. And, you know, it's just like, oh no, this is what's going to happen. And then like fucking time slows down. Like they might as well have started playing, what you say?
As he falls, oh, that you want me, man. Oh shit, now I want to see that.
give Tumblr a hot minute. Wait till the DVD comes out. You'll have it.
Make that shit my background on Facebook.
It's just like they took all the punch out of it. Like even I don't fucking know how they could have done it better with fucking Poe Dameron in the beginning, where you know Fett rules kick in immediately.
Yeah, Poe Dameron's one of the other new trio of people. Him and Finn, John Boyega's character, they crash, and then Finn finds his jacket, and the ship immediately sinks into the ground and explodes. But he only finds his jacket, and thus, no body, no death. Immediately knew that guy was coming back.
Yeah, like, it's not even... Which, I didn't really care for him, so I wasn't... Oh, okay, a guy didn't like died. Alright.
I like Poe. Poe's good.
He has all the charisma of Wedge Antilles with...
Way more screen time.
Yeah, with all the hair of Biggs Darklighter. And none of the mustache. Poe Dameron needs him a good mustache.
You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna give him a mustache next movie.
Fuck yeah, I'll be invested. I'll be like,
you sold me on Poe Dameron.
I like this Poe Dameron guy. He's classy as shit.
He's got a classy... You know what? No, they can't, because then he'll look like Ron Burgundy.
Dude, have you seen fucking Biggs Darklighter?
Yes, he looks like Ron Burgundy.
No, he looks like, fucking... what the fuck is that guy's name? Ant-Man. He looks like Ant-Man's character in that movie.
I know what you're saying. I'm not going to give you the answer. Move on. I don't think so. I think they really, it's not a big punch to the gut. Like, you're not surprised when it happens. But it is still, it has shades of, for many people, I'm sure, the trope. It's called Like You Would Really Do It, where they hint that the major character's going to die, and everyone in the audience goes, no, he's not. It's fucking Han Solo. You're not going to fucking... Holy shit, they did it. That's where the punch comes in, is that they had the balls to actually do it.
Sure. And I mean, and that's something that I can't really live in a world where I get that punch, because it was stolen from me before the movie even came out.
Because... it wasn't stolen from me. I walked in with zero spoilers. I tried very hard about that, and I'm very proud about that. I walked in with zero spoilers, and I knew it was coming. But there was a part of my brain that goes, they might not have... It's Han fucking Solo.
My personal pet theory on that, and I'll try to be brief about it, is... So it's been stated a lot and speculated a lot in the expanded universe, and even in the original trilogy, that Han Solo is Force sensitive. He just doesn't do anything with it. You mentioned that nobody is that lucky.
Not in the Star Wars universe.
Not in the Star Wars universe. He also, I got a bad feeling about this, is basically, I feel a great disturbance in the Force.
And that is actually held up in a lot of the games, too. Whenever anyone says, like, in basically any Star Wars game, I had a bad feeling about this. Save.
Yeah.
Shit's about to go down.
But, so it's long been speculated. So I think what happened is, at some point Han realized his death was coming. The Force let him know.
Subconsciously.
Sure.
So he just felt like he was running out of time.
Whatever, someone was coming to punch his big galactic ticket, whatever the case may be. So, conveniently, shit with his son had just gone south. He didn't want Leia to have to deal with it, so he fucking fucks off. He goes back to smuggling and starts doing the dumbest, most dangerous fucking jobs he can find because he's tired of waiting. He starts screwing over people for no real reason.
He's doing the Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump, where he's pointing a middle finger at God during a lightning storm and saying, "Come on, you pussy, do it, do it, do it."
And I like to think that in the end, Han saw Kylo there and shrugged and went, "You know what? Best case scenario, I get my kid back and all is well. Worst case scenario, I'm done fucking waiting. Let's do this. Let's roll the dice, Han Solo, and see what you got in you."
Let's see if everything comes up Han one more time. Yeah. Turns out, no.
No. And that's okay. I mean, like, he was an older character. It was probably his time to go.
I honestly, my it's not a personal theory. It's pretty much the prevailing theory. They also probably partially killed Han because, look, Harrison Ford did not want to. He was fucking done with Star Wars. They talked him back for one movie, probably so that they could kill off fucking Han Solo. And he doesn't have to do them anymore.
I've heard he's going to be in the next one, but I'm sure it's just like small parts or something. Nothing huge. All that being said, I haven't talked much about Rey myself. I think she was cool.
Good character, honestly.
Yeah, really, really cool. I mean, they foreshadowed all of the stuff about her really hard, but I don't know, she was cool. Whatever. Finn,
I would say not an incredibly well-written character. Not in that her dialogue was bad. It was good, and the actress delivered it well. I would say that, that's not... For a protagonist of a Star Wars movie, she doesn't have a whole lot of places to go. She already kicked the Darth Vader of this trilogy's ass. Well, she fought him 1v1 me scrub and beat him up and left him crying in the dirt like she was a elementary school bully.
Yeah, I mean...
That doesn't give her a lot of places. There's no up to go from there. What's she going to do, fight him again and win again?
This is John Cena. It's like...
You can't sell me Rey as an underdog.
You are nice as fuck. You are the best person. You try really hard. You do your best all the time. You're very good at fighting.
But you can't... But the problem will come in is if they try and sell me Rey as an underdog in the next movie. I don't buy it. She already kicked Kylo Ren's ass.
Maybe DarthSnopes.com is, really good at lightsabers. Maybe he really is that big.
That'd be really fucked up.
That'd be fucked up. You got a big-ass lightsaber.
What do you have a normal size one?
Oh, no. Yeah, he's like, I get you.
But they mentioned that Kylo Ren needs to finish his training, so he's gonna go and he's gonna lift weights and get swole. And he had a bunch of, last time there was a bunch of excuses. He had just been shot by a fucking bowcaster. That's gotta suck.
Sure.
Fucking Finn managed to stab him a couple times in the shoulder and in the arm. So he was that arm was basically done. He was fighting one-handed and it was snowing and the sun was in his eyes. He has a bunch of excuses, but he still got his ass whipped by someone who literally didn't know the Force was real 2 days before that happened.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a Jedi. Come on, man. I know your deal is that you're kind of a wannabe. You're not a magnificent bastard. You're a smug snake. You're not really all that cool. You just really want to be cool. But I mean, I love you, you trash can human, but you're no longer a threatening villain. I don't buy you as a villain anymore. for Rey. I buy him threatening for everybody else because he kicked Finn's ass.
Well, and maybe that's going to be the thing. Maybe, like, Rey is so John Cena that when, like, she's studying the Force with Luke and, like, shit's going down in not Bespin, and Luke's like, no, you have to stay here. Your friends will do what they need to do. You need to stay here and finish your Force training. She's like, okay, hustle, loyalty, and respect. Eat my prayers, say my vitamins.
Quite unlike Luke in the first trilogy.
Yeah, who was like, fuck this shit, Yoda, I am out, deuces!
Another popular fan theory that I actually really like is the idea that she might, because she has such innate, huge potential, unlike Luke, but quite like another Skywalker we know, that she might end up going dark side at some point in the trilogy.
I don't see how that could happen. I would find that hard to believe. They'd really have to sell me on it because she's John Cena.
You could do it if her family ends up working for Snopes.com.
Yeah, or if like, I don't know. There's ways you could do it, but you'd have to sell me on it. And the first movie didn't try very hard to sell me on goddamn anything. They were just like, shut up, it's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars.
Right, but shut up, it's Star Wars.
Fuck, there's a lightsaber, Chewbacca's there.
There's a goddamn cantina.
He's using a bowcaster to shoot dice, and there's X-Wings, and they're fighting TIE fighters, and they're doing ghouls flips, and shut the fuck up, it's Star Wars. You just saw the Millennium Falcon fly through a Star Destroyer, shut the fuck up, it's Star Wars.
Here's that thing you always wrote about when you wrote, OCs in Star Wars. A stormtrooper who gets a lightsaber and fights up against the Empire he hated. He's also a huge goober, which I love.
Like a lovable
Just
goober.
wasn't expecting it. But there you go.
Yeah, they gave you everything you wanted, and yet somehow...
And I'm like, come on, guys, like...
Actually, there's a really funny thing. If you go to George Lucas did an interview, and about the new Star Wars, which he had seen before it came out, he said, I think the fans will really love it. It's very much the movie they've been wanting. Which, in a very quiet way, is him just, you hear a chorus of people in the background going, oh!
Yeah, fucking mic drop.
Because it is very much, it's kind of pandering to the fans.
It is.
And
I like that. Being pandered to.
I'm fine with that, because it's a fucking Star Wars movie. Just take me on the fucking roller coaster ride through the fucking Jedis and the lightsabers and the X-Wings and the boom! I can do that. I can turn off my brain and enjoy.
See, but Star Wars has never been that for me. Star Wars is more like Pirates of the Caribbean, in that, like, there's some complicated shit going on here. There are people you don't know if you can trust. There are situations where you're like, is this going to turn out well? There are risks. There are stakes. And there are cool aliens and laser swords. Like, sometimes Luke gets his hand chopped off,
Mm-hmm. Betting you Kylo Ren doesn't end episode 8 with both hands.
I'm honestly betting...
He's gonna cut off his own hand to be more like Darth Vader.
Here's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. This is my little pet theory, and it's just a skeleton. Bear with me. But I'm thinking, next episode or beginning of episode 9, we're gonna see him turn light. Episode 9's big climactic moment is gonna be around, is he gonna actually help us, or is he gonna turn back to the dark side kind of thing? In which case I might like that, because I like that kind of redemption arc.
And then maybe it ends with him and Rey, John Cena and Randy Ortoning Snopes.com.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know why, but like Rey was still fighting with a lightsaber, but Kylo was totally doing the RKO in my head just then. She was like voom voom, and he was like whoosh.
I love what a tryhard he is. It makes him a magnificent villain.
Well, and I like it too. I mean, there's a lot of good metaphor in there, and it's not a bad story. It's just an underwhelming movie. It lets me stop and think about all these crazy little theories and bunny holes and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, this could be really good. But it's not delivering on that yet. It didn't give me... This is a 9-hour movie. And they stopped after the first act.
Yeah, I think very much, and I have a problem with that. Again, I love the movie. I have a problem with them stopping after the first act, as it were. A movie needs to be able to stand on its own. Even if it's part of a trilogy, It needs to be able to stand on its own. But in this particular case, I'm willing to give Star Wars a pass.
Look, don't get me wrong. I'm going to go back to the theater and watch it again and see if it doesn't strike me a bit differently. See if the lack of excitement I'm feeling isn't buried in all of the awesome that I'm appreciating. And I totally am going to the theater to see the next one. Like, this isn't one of those vote with your wallet moments. I hated this shit. Again, I liked it more than I liked Avengers.
It was a good movie.
He was
even
fun.
liked it. I love the fucking thing.
Like,
I'm going to see it again. I might go see it a third time.
And I have to say that because, like I said earlier, I have the ability to just be so negative about it once I start getting in the nitpick hole. Once I start pointing out what I don't like, I find things that are connected to it that I don't like, and I get real mad. But yeah, it was
pulling back, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie. It's a pandery movie. It's a simple movie, but it's a good movie. And there you have it.
Yeah, that's about it. Go fucking see it. I'm gonna go see it again. I might go see it 3 times.
Ironically, basically, what it comes down to is the more I examine this film, the more I like it. It is literally our catchphrase.
Yeah, I suppose. Everything is better when nerds talk about it.
Fuck it, let's get high!